Anyway, Eyes Without a Face. It is 1959, wasn't it?
An extraordinary movie. This is kind of like, it's gone down history as one of the scariest horror movies ever made, despite the fact that it's French and it's black and white, and the car in it is a Citroën de Chevaux, which is the least menacing car in the world. When it first came out, it was first shown in England at the Edinburgh Film Festival, and people walked out.
The Vauxhall Chevette is less threatening than the
de Chevaux, yeah.
Austin Princess. Anyway,
Can I get to the end of the Edinburgh Film Festival anecdote? Because it's a good gag.
Please.
Which is that people walked out of the film festival, and Georges Franju, the director, was seen walking around muttering about a nation of men that wore skirts, and so he thought this was, how wimpy they were. Basically, the story is, it's a kind of it's like a cross between a Hammer movie and a Georges Bataille. The story is that there is a mad scientist who isn't mad at the beginning of the movie, whose daughter is involved in a car crash which the scientist causes. Her face is horribly disfigured. He therefore decides that what he will do is he will reconstruct her face, and the way he will do this is he will steal faces from other people. Now, even if you haven't seen the movie and it hasn't been in circulation for quite a long time, you've probably seen the classic, iconic image from it, which is a girl with beautifully sort of bobbed hair and this totally flat plastic mask that she wears.
Sounds like Suzanne Charlton reading the weather.
And these two eye holes looking out.
Yeah. And
it's a really, really striking image. It was used a lot in the 1970s when punk bands used to sort of pick it up because it's really kind of horrifying. Since then, this film has inspired everything from David Cronenberg's body horror to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Leatherface's use of this sort of thing. It is a much referred to movie. Now, going back and seeing anything like this, all this time later, can it still stand up? Well, I watched it again today. It's really scary. It's really creepy. It's really moving. It's really intelligent. Leslie Halliwell hated it. He said it was, he described it as a horrid movie, which was obviously made as a joke, but over the years has become a cult. So therefore that's great. Leslie Halliwell thinks A, it's a cult, and B, it's rubbish. So we know we should take this to our hearts. Right. It being French, we can't play you a dialogue clip, but one of the things that really defines the film is it has this really creepy score by Maurice Jarre. So what I want to do is play you a bit of the score, and I'll describe the sequence as the score plays. Before the score says, here's what's happening. Our heroine, whose face we have never seen, her face is entirely hidden behind this white plastic mask, has gone into a room where there is an operating table with the victim whose face is going to be taken off and put onto her face, laid out. So the music starts to play, and we do this. It's marvellous. And she walks towards the mirror first, and we see her take this white plastic mask off, but we don't see her face. She looks at herself in the mirror. We see that. We see the mask fall to the floor. Now she turns and walks over to the operating table. She puts her hands out and she starts to tenderly touch the beautiful face of the woman whose face is going to be used to replace her own. The woman starts to come out of the anaesthetic coma that she's been in. She looks up and she dreamily sees the face of our heroine with all its deformity and...
Blimey, that kid.
Yes. I was really pleased how we timed that. That was very good. So that is basically, that's a taste of what Eyes Without a Face is like. One thing which is worth warning you of, the most unpleasant sequence in this film is there is the surgical sequence in which we see the removal of somebody's face, which was described by Franju as having been inspired by a movie he saw about tree panning. You know, tree panning, when you drill holes in your head in order to make yourself feel better. This movie has a certain strange quality to it. So this is not
sort of Egyptian brain surgery technique, wasn't it? They found in the tombs evidence of people who've had their skulls bored out to sort of relieve a headache before they invented acid.
Headache, tense nervous headache. Take a drill.
Take a drill. Black and Decker. Enjoy a good night's sleep with Snorebuster. That's another one there
so
from Peter Lipscomb. And indeed, boom. Right.
So anyway, the reason I'm saying this is just, although it's 1959, it's black and white, and it's French, Italian co-production, believe me, there are moments in it that are grim and require a strong stomach. Looking back over, what all the critics said about it, I was absolutely thrilled. The Financial Times called it the most horrid film you could ever fear to see, which I think is a really lovely thing to say. Now it's being described as poetic. Pauline Kael said it was the most poetic horror movie ever made. This is from Tom Mill. I want to quote very much. I just want to read you. This is a beautiful summation of the film from Tom Mill. Illuminated throughout by Franju's unique sense of poetry, nowhere more evident than in the final shot of our heroine wandering free through the night, her mask discarded, but her face seen only by the dogs at her side. It's a marvellous movie in the fullest sense. I don't want to say very much more about it, other than that It's a film that you know the imageries from, you know the influences, you've seen it repeated 100 times, but until you have seen Les Yeux Sans Visage, put that terrible Billy Idol record out of your mind forever and ever and ever. It's Yul Brynner's facial mask in Westworld. You know, like I said, it's Leatherface. It's the Robert Englund remake of Phantom of the Opera. It's all these films which are far more gory, far more nasty, and none of them have the power of this film. It's going to be out on video in September, but in the meantime, the BFI have released it. It's in the cinema. Go see. It is extraordinary.
I'm sold. Have you seen it, Stuart?
Les Yeux Sans Visage, as I refer to it.
Oh,
no, I haven't. I must see it, though.
Right, so you know the title. You've learned the title, but you've never bothered to see it.
But what Stuart hasn't pointed out is that when we came into the cinema, and I said Les Yeux Sans Visage, and Stuart went very knowingly, yes, the eyes in the face.
He's
in my little cafe bar where we discuss these things, we call it eyes in the face. Yeah.
Right, okay. So what, have we got copies to give away? Or?
What we're going to do is, yes, we have copies to give away, but the deal is you're going to get them in September.
Right.
Okay?
And if you believe that.
You believe anything.
Actually, no, that's about right, because it takes us about that long to send out the ones we've got already. So
Les Yeux Sans Visage and Les Winners Sans Prizes.
Okay. Oh, very good.
Thank you.
And in fact, we've got some and indeed, if you will, and then again, boom.